You're doing it right now. Building another perfect cage. Every morning ritual. Every scheduled workout. Every perfectly timed meal. You think you're building discipline, but you're actually creating dependency. A beautiful, structured prison where you've made yourself the warden and the prisoner. How long has this been true? By the end of this, you'll know exactly why your most disciplined habits are secretly stealing your freedom, and how true Stoic control looks nothing like what you think it does. Here's what nobody wants to admit. Your morning routine isn't making you stronger. It's making you fragile. Think about what happens when your alarm doesn't go off. When your gym is closed. When your usual coffee shop runs out of your specific order. You don't adapt. You panic. You've confused routine with resilience. Structure with strength. But Marcus Aurelius knew something different. In his Meditations, he wrote about soldiers who could sleep on rocks, eat whatever was available, and maintain their center regardless of circumstances. They weren't dependent on perfect conditions. They were anti-fragile. Aurelius Maximus once told me something that shattered my understanding of discipline. Those steel blue eyes fixed on mine, as he said, "The man who needs his routine is not disciplined. He is addicted. True discipline is maintaining your principles when everything falls apart." I watched this destroy someone I knew. Successful entrepreneur. Perfect morning routine. 5 a.m. workout. Meditation. Journaling. Cold shower. Green smoothie. Every single day for 3 years. He was proud of his discipline. Posted about it online. Called it his success formula. Then his father got sick. Had to fly across the country. Missed his routine for 1 week. Just 7 days. But he couldn't function, couldn't make decisions, felt completely lost without his structure. The routine that was supposed to give him control had actually stolen it. This is the hidden trap. We create these elaborate systems thinking we're building strength, but we're actually building dependency. The more perfect our routine, the more fragile we become. The more we need external structure, the less internal stability we have. Real Stoic control isn't about perfect conditions, it's about perfect adaptability. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Not power over your schedule, not power over your environment, power over your mind. That's it. That's the only control that matters. But here's where it gets interesting. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, would regularly practice voluntary discomfort. He'd sleep on the floor, eat simple food, wear rough clothes, not because he was poor, but because he refused to become dependent on luxury. He was building anti-fragility. Marcus Stone learned this the hard way. That square jaw was always set with determination. Perfect discipline, perfect routine, military precision in everything. Until deployment changed everything. No gym, no schedule, no familiar food, no routine at all. The soldiers who thrived weren't the ones with the most rigid training. They were the ones who could adapt, who could find strength in chaos, who had built internal discipline rather than external dependency. Marcus realized his mistake. He'd been building a house of cards and calling it a fortress. All his routines were just elaborate ways of avoiding the real work, developing unshakable internal control. True Stoic discipline isn't about perfect adherence to routine. It's about perfect adherence to principle. The principle remains constant. Everything else can change. Here's what changes everything. Instead of building routines, build principles. Instead of depending on perfect conditions, develop the ability to find your center in any condition. Start questioning your attachments. That morning coffee, what happens if you don't have it? That specific workout, what if the gym is closed? That particular schedule, what if life interrupts? The Stoics had a practice called negative visualization. They would imagine losing the things they depended on, not to be pessimistic, but to build resilience, to prepare their minds for change, to reduce their dependencies. Try this. Take your most important routine and skip it tomorrow. See what happens in your mind. Notice the resistance, the discomfort, the sense that something is wrong. That discomfort is measuring your dependency, your fragility. Real strength comes from principles you can carry anywhere. Integrity that doesn't need perfect conditions. Discipline that works in chaos. Peace that exists independent of circumstances. This doesn't mean abandoning all structure. It means holding structure lightly, using routine as a tool, not becoming its slave, building habits that serve your principles, not replacing them. The most disciplined person isn't the one with the most elaborate routine. It's the one who needs the least external support to maintain their center, who can be equally strong in a palace or a prison, in comfort or chaos. Marcus Aurelius wrote most of his meditations during military campaigns. No perfect morning routine, no ideal conditions. Just principles, just philosophy, just the unshakable discipline of mind that true Stoics develop. Aurelius Maximus was right. The man who can only be strong under perfect conditions isn't strong at all. But the man who carries his principles like an internal compass, he can navigate any storm. Your routines aren't your strength. Your principles are. Your schedule isn't your discipline. Your mind is. Your perfect conditions aren't your foundation. Your philosophy is. Build that. Build the kind of discipline that works anywhere. The kind of strength that needs nothing external. The kind of control that comes from within and cannot be shaken by circumstances. That's what the Stoics really taught. Not perfect habits, but perfect adaptability. Not rigid routine, but flexible strength. Not dependency on ideal conditions, but freedom from needing them at all. The next step changes everything.